Hello everybody, Mr. Morris here. I thought I'd just come and say hello through a YouTube link. I hope you're all well and keeping safe at school. We're all missing you and your families, missing not being in school together, and we're very much looking forward to everybody being back to some form of normality and seeing everybody back in school soon. The government are going to make a final announcement at the end of May, but at the moment we're anticipating that some of our year groups are going to be coming back to school in order to keep everybody safe, and the government wants us to some year groups at a time. So for us, at the beginning of June, we're going to really be looking forward to seeing some of our nursery children, our reception class and our year one children coming back into school to join us. Unfortunately, not all staff are able to come back into school at the moment, and therefore we haven't got the capacity to have our year sixes as well, but we hope that will change in the near future and we'll be able to have those children joining us as well for that very important end of year six and transition time, thinking ahead to going into year seven. So how do we get you back and our staff back in safely? There's going to be lots and lots of things that have changed in school in order to keep us all safe. So first of all, if you're a key worker's child, or if you're what the government call a vulnerable child, you will be able to attend school full time, more or less, and your parents will be able to book you in on the days they wish you to be in school. If you're a nursery or a reception or a year one child, you'll be able to come to school for 2.5 days a week, and the information as to which days those will follow soon. Once you're back and people are in school, everybody will be organised into small groups, and each small group of children will have a couple of adults at least that will be working in that group. That group is going to be known as a bubble, and that bubble will stay as it is, just those children, and they won't mix with any other bubbles. So it will ensure and help us to make sure that social distancing as much as possible can be adhered to. Through the day, those bubbles will go out. They'll have separate playtimes. Their lunch times will be staggered. The beginning of the day and the end of the day will be staggered, so to help us make sure that we're not mixing those bubbles together. So each bubble will have its own teaching space, and that's where everybody will be working, and each bubble will have its own set of toilets, and therefore again reducing the opportunity for mixing the bubbles and keeping us safe. We'll also be trying and reminding you all the time about trying to keep 2 meters apart, trying to keep that social distancing that the government are talking about so much. We'll also be reminding you to wash hands regularly throughout the day, before lunch, when you arrive at school, but also mums and dads, hopefully you can make sure the children wash their hands as they leave the house and when they come back at the end of the day into your homes. The starts and finish times for the day will be slightly different as well. As I said, we're going to stagger those so that it avoids big build-ups of people and crowds. We're going to make sure that we use different entrances, and there'll be a plan that will come to you soon, which will help you to know where you're to bring your child in. We ask that only one adult brings a child, again to just limit the numbers, and which entrance and which times you'll be dropping off and collecting. The children, you won't need to bring anything with you into school because everything will be provided. That way we can make sure that we're not bringing any bugs or germs into school, but we can make sure that the equipment in school is being cleaned and ready for you to use each day. There will be changes in some things that we are able to use and not able to use. For example, the library will be cordoned off because we're not able to handle all of those books, so that will be cordoned off, as I say. And also soft toys and furnishings will also be put away because those are the things that are harder to clean, and we need to make sure that we're keeping everything as clean as possible. We will ask you to bring one thing with you and that's a bottle of water with a name on it, so that you've got your own water that you can refill throughout the day as you need it when you're thirsty. The classrooms will look different as well. The classrooms, the desks, the play equipment will all be spread out again, just to try and keep us in the social distancing so those germs don't pass between us, in order to keep us all safe. And the corridors will have markers down the middle of them to show that we can walk on the left side of the corridor, so children coming down one side. If other children are coming up the other way, that means that they will be kept apart, and it will be like a one-way system to again keep us all safe. Around the school there'll be lots of posters to remind us of all of this, and the grown-ups will also be really good at reminding you to make sure that you're following those instructions. At lunchtimes, the school lunches will be there as normal, the menus will be out as normal. However, when you have your lunch, again, everybody will be spread out to ensure that we're keeping 2 meters apart. The other difference will be that we're going to ask you not to wear school uniform. This means that actually when you get home at the end of the day after school, your clothes can go straight into the washing machine and be washed to make sure that they're clean for the next day. So we're saying that you don't need to wear school uniform for that purpose. So it's going to be very different. It's going to be very exciting to see everybody, and we're going to work together to make sure that we're keeping each other safe. So when I'm washing my hands to keep you, it will be about keeping you safe, and when you're washing your hands, it will be about keeping the other people around you safe as well. Mums and dads, a couple of other minor things just to mention. Well, not minor really. I appreciate that not everybody will be wanting to send their children back in the current circumstances, and this is your parental choice. And currently, the government are saying that if you choose not to send your child back to school, there will be no consequences about that in terms of fines or any actions like that. It's the government are saying it is a parental choice, and if you choose not to send your child in, that's okay. The children, their learning will be the same. The children who are in school or working from home will have the same learning. The learning packs that the teachers are working so hard to make sure are released each week will still be coming through to you, and the teachers in school will be using those as well with the children in school. So the learning will be the same, the curriculum that they're following will be the same, and we'll be supporting them in school as you would be supporting them at home with those learning packs. So if you choose your child not to come back to school, that learning will still continue as well, and we hope you can do that. And if you have any questions around that home learning, you know that you're able to email the relevant teachers or teaching assistants to help. To keep safe again and to limit the number of people that are coming into the building, we're also not allowing parents into the school building. If you have, as I said, if you have a question or a query, you can always contact us by email or by the school main telephone line, and we will do our best to answer any of the questions or queries that you have. But we're not going to be having any face-to-face meetings with parents over these next few weeks. All of these things said, these are still plans. We're still waiting for the government to make the final decision. They'll make that on Thursday the 28th of May, and that will be whether we can follow these plans or whether they are saying the scientific evidence isn't strong enough to allow children back. We very much hope the scientific evidence is, and we very much hope we're going to see those year groups come back and join us in those at the beginning of June. We are going to be opening on the 3rd of June, which will be on the Wednesday, and that will be at lunchtime, which will allow us time to make sure that the rooms, the corridors, the facilities are all set up as we need them to be, and also that all staff are fully briefed through the rigorous risk assessments we're doing, and everybody's able to follow those procedures to keep us all safe. I hope that's been useful. All this information will come out to you on letters. Please ask, they will be long, but ask you please to read them carefully. There's lots of frequently asked questions and answers to those on the letters as well. So, thank you for listening. I hope you stay well, hope you stay safe, hope we can look forward to seeing those children back at the beginning of June. Take care, speak to you soon.